Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. 3 chairs for church. Psalm 122 says, I was glad when they said to me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Our feet have been standing within your gates, O Jerusalem. Jerusalem is built as a city that is compact together, where the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, to the testimony of Israel, to give thanks to the name of the Lord. For thrones are set there for judgment, the thrones of the house of David. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May they prosper who love you. Peace be within your walls, prosperity within your palaces. For the sake of my brethren and companions, I will now say, peace be within you. Because of the house of the Lord our God, I will seek your good. The text is a celebration about going to church. The writer is very excited at the invitation to go to the house of the Lord to worship. This is a grown man, the very king of Israel, a man who has the awesome job of managing the affairs of his country. And we hear him saying that he is glad that he is being invited to go to church. Today, many persons will be going to church, or many persons would have gone to church. How about you? Or should I say, did you? Why do we go to church anyway? This is a concern for many persons, especially as the scourge of COVID-19 hit churches hard 2 years ago. Many churches had to close their doors as the vicious reality of the disease spread like wildfire. Some churches resisted and soon paid the high price, where some of their members contracted the disease within the church environment. Now, 2 years later, and gradually churches are reopening. And what do you find? There are many people who have not returned to worshiping in a physical place. Some have changed churches, but others are not going anywhere. Are they watching church services online, or could it be that they are no longer interested in going to church? Let us see the reason or reasons King David is so excited about going to church. First of all, he calls it the house of the Lord. The church is God's house, the place where God meets a group of his followers regularly. God doesn't live in the building, but the Bible tells us that God wants his followers to come to this house of worship, to worship him collectively. Some people sing hymns, others sing contemporary music. Some churches make a joyful noise with musical instruments. Some people break out in dancing. You could do all of this at home, but think of how exciting and joyful it is when God's people get together and they worship together. David, who was known for his extravagant style of worship, expresses great delight that he is going to the house of the Lord. He then says that the tribes of Israel, they all go to the house of the Lord to give thanks unto the name of the Lord. This is a big thing. You and I have a lot to give thanks for. Since the last time you've been in church, lots of things have happened. Many people, innocent people, have died because of violence and war and sickness. This past week, I heard of 2 school principals who died suddenly. Those are people who are not around to go to church, but you are alive and well. That is something to go to church for, to give thanks for being alive. Of course, there are so many other things you do need to give thanks to God for. You got paid this week. There's gas in your car, although the price of gas is so high. You have a roof over your head when so many persons are homeless. Your kids are doing well in school. So many kids don't even have what is needed to go to school. Did you go shopping anytime this week? You are blessed, my friend, that you are able to go shopping. That's another reason to go to church for, to give God thanks for his blessings. I can imagine this past week, some people got some great news. The cancer is gone. Your mortgage is approved. You got a promotion and a salary increase. Somebody got saved recently and is now a child of God. Can you think of anything else that you simply want to go to church and give God thanks for? The writer goes on to say, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. This morning, one community is waking up to the reality that a gunman killed 10 persons the day before in what looks like a hate crime. Pray for the peace of your community. Some communities are under threat with wildfires and other natural disaster, and it's only spring. Pray for the peace of your community. Maybe where you live, it's peaceful and neighbors get along well, but can you think of other communities whether near you or in places like Ukraine, in some African countries, where there are civil unrest, where people live in fear of disasters or evil activities that threaten life and property? You have one more thing to pray for. Pray for your community or for other places that God will give them peace. He doesn't only pray for the community, but he prays for individuals in his life, his family members and his friends. It is so good to know that someone is in church today praying for me. There is someone who would appreciate the fact that I went to church today and that I prayed for them. Pray for their safety. Pray for God to provide for them. Pray that loved ones would give their lives to Jesus. Pray for anything that you know they need. On behalf of King David, I believe I have made a case why you too could go to church today or any other chance you get. It seems like a good thing to do. God asks that we do it and that we do it regularly. Go to church for whatever reason, for fellowship, to learn about God, to pray, to give God thanks, to worship, whatever. Go to church simply to spend time with God and in the presence of others. My friend, try it. Whether today or some other time, try it. You just might enjoy going to church. Do you have any questions about today's message? Send them to me at friendofclyde@gmail.com.